Hi Samuel, this is Coach Smart from ABC Baseball Camps. I'm here to do your hitting evaluation. So let's get going here. We're going to start with your setup. Okay. I'm a big fan of hitters that start in a parallel stance. Okay, you're pretty spread out, but that might work for you. Let's see what happens here. Let's see where your hands go. Okay, so well, let's just watch the swing first. Pardon my voice a little bit, Sam. I've got a little bit of a cold. Okay. Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of guys that put their bat behind their head, but you seem to pull it off from a swing plane standpoint. Good downward angle, so we'll let that go. That looks pretty. Actually, looks pretty good from a swing plane standpoint. You take your bat from that position you're in at the start, and it goes on a downward angle. It looks like it's pretty short, so I like that. Your hands look like you're lined up pretty good. Little knuckle, so that's good. Okay. So no problem with your swing plane at all. Obviously you're a mile out in front on this swing. Your hands are outside the baseball, and you're hitting might be inside on you. I don't know. It's hard to tell from this angle. You're pulling the baseball, but you're a mile out in front a little bit. So I think this is a bad pitch. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's watch this one. Okay, so you don't stride at all, really. You just kind of do a little heel hitch, which is okay. Okay, so the only problem I see in your setup as far as your swing there, Samuel, is what that front foot's doing right now. Okay? It starts out, it looks like you're on the ball of your foot, your heel's in the air, and then as you swing, you rotate that foot. Okay, so understand, Samuel, where power comes from. Where, bat speed comes from. Bat speed comes from you using your hands to rotate to a baseball and then involving your lower half to hit. Okay? And part of that process is driving this knee down to a firm, closed front side. Okay? You do a great job with your back knee of driving it, but when that foot opens up, you're going to lose a percentage of ability to create resistance between your backside and your front side. Okay, so how much percentage? Hard to tell, but for me, 1% would be too much. Okay, I don't want to put my body in a position that's going to take power away from me. Okay? So, one thing I would suggest, you can see your front foot leaking there, wanting to roll over. Okay, that tells me that you're doing a really good job with your backside. But we have to do whatever it takes, Samuel, to not let what is happening happen. Okay? I know that your front foot wants to peak right here. It wants to roll over, and I can see you fighting it. Just keep that up, okay? Because that's critically important of part of your development as far as trying to drive a baseball and hit it hard consistently. Okay, so as far as how your front foot lands and stuff, one thing I would do is I would just stick that foot on the ground and don't have a heel hitch. I don't care that you don't stride too much. Okay, I'm not sure how you're going to get on time. I'm not sure what you're using for your timing mechanism. But when you have that toe on the ground, your heel off the ground, it makes it much easier for you to rotate that front foot, which you don't want to do. You want, when you're making contact with the baseball, buddy, in a perfect world, you want your back foot to look just like your front foot does right now, if your front foot was on the ground. Okay? Parallel and closed. Okay, so okay, enough about that. Okay, you got where I'm coming from there, I think. Okay, so like I said, I like your swing plane. I like what you do with your backside. I don't like what you do with your front side. Okay, and this pitch again. Are you inside the baseball, or are you outside the baseball? You're outside the baseball. Okay, so you're out in front again. I can't help you with that, Samuel. Okay, no hitting instructor, the best ones in the world, can't help you with your lack of discipline to let the ball travel. That's something you got to figure out yourself. I'm watching your swing. It's short, it's compact, but you have to have the discipline to trust your hands that you're going to get to the baseball. This isn't going to work where you're at there. That's going to be with adrenaline flowing through your veins in a baseball game. That's a ground ball to second base. That's everything to your pull side. And to be considered a complete hitter, you have to be able to hit the baseball to all fields. Okay, and that's real important. Okay, so let's see what happens after contact, even though we're a mile out in front. Okay, so not a bad job there from an extension standpoint. Okay, you stay on plane. Let's see, how long do you stay on plane? So you're on plane, on plane, on plane. So about 3 clicks you're on plane. Okay, so I mean, it's not too bad. I think I could get better. The thing I want you to feel, Samuel, is I want you to feel on every swing that you're going to throw the bat right at the pitcher. That you're going to release that barrel to center field and not release it to right field for you. Okay? We don't want to release that barrel to right field. Okay, so I want to tell you where I want you to be in a perfect world where major league hitters are at the point of contact. Okay? In regards to your belt buckle, in regards to your chest and your shoulders and your hip. Okay? You should be at contact. You should be hitting the baseball right now. Okay? Right now is where your chest should be facing, or maybe right there. Maybe in between there. Your chest at contact, son, should be facing the shortstop. Let's see where your chest is when you hit the baseball. Okay? Your chest and belt buckle, front hip are all facing the pitcher, or maybe even the second baseman, towards second base. Okay, so that's going to create a hole in your swing, in my estimation. It's going to put you in a position where you're going to have a difficult time hitting balls in the outer half, like most hitters do. And this is the reason why they have a hard time doing it, because they can't keep their chest over the baseball long enough to hit it the other way with authority, not just make contact, with authority, driving it the other way. Okay? So again, let's go back to what we talked about earlier about creating resistance. Okay? At contact, we already told you where I want you to be in the upper half. At the lower half at contact, especially that back foot, you should be right now. You should be hitting the baseball right now. Okay? Lower half actually and upper half. Now's when you should be making the baseball. Hitting the baseball, excuse me. Not out there. So tell me, Samuel, do you think you can push harder with your back knee? Whoops. Do you think you can push harder with your back knee with your foot like that, where your back foot is right now, on the ball of your foot, pushing like all get outs right there? Or do you think you can push harder when you're up on your toe with barely anything in the ground? I'll answer the question for you. It's where we talked about before. You got to be on the ball of your foot when you're making contact, not on that toe. Okay, I want to create energy with that backside. And your front foot's way better there. See your front foot there? That's beautiful. That's where it needs to be all the time, right there. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 drills to do. With your hitting eval email, you're going to have a couple links on there for a couple YouTube videos. Okay? Those YouTube videos, one's called a dead legs drill, one is called a split drill, will help you keep that front hip in and get the feeling of what it's like to have your front hip involved in that swing, and also how to use your hands better instead of using your shoulders to swing that bat. Okay? Sammy, you got a lot of good things in that swing, buddy. Just a couple things to clean up. Okay? Okay, buddy. Nice meeting you at camp. Have a great spring and summer. We'll see you at the next ABC baseball camp.